Understanding Java Variables, a comprehensive guide. Introduction. Welcome to our Java Variables tutorial. In this video, we'll explore Java variables, their types, how to declare and use them, and best practices for effective variable management. Let's get started. What is a variable? A variable in Java is a storage location in memory with a specific data type. It allows you to store and manipulate data within your program. Variable declaration. To declare a variable, specify the data type followed by the variable name. For example, int age declares an integer variable named age. Variable initialization. You can initialize a variable when you declare it, or assign it a value later. For example, int age equals 25. Initializes the variable age with the value 25. Primitive data types. Java has 8 primitive data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. Each type has its own range and memory size. Reference data types. Reference data types include objects and arrays. They are created using constructors and store references to memory locations where the actual data is held. Type conversion. Type conversion in Java can be implicit automatic or explicit manual. For example, converting an int to a double is implicit, whereas converting a double to an int requires explicit casting. Variable scope. The scope of a variable determines its visibility and lifetime within the program. Variables can have local, instance, or class scope. Local variables. Local variables are declared within a method or block and can only be used within that method or block. They are not accessible outside. Instance variables. Instance variables are declared within a class, but outside any method. They are associated with an instance of the class and are accessible to all instance methods. Class variables. Class variables, also known as static variables, are declared with the static keyword within a class, but outside any method. They are shared among all instances of the class. Naming conventions. Follow Java naming conventions for readability and maintainability. Use camel case for variable names and start with a lowercase letter. For example, in studentage, final variables. Variables declared with the final keyword cannot be changed once initialized. They are useful for defining constants. For example, final int max underscore score equals 100. Best practices. Use meaningful names, avoid global variables, initialize variables, and limit variable scope to improve code readability and maintainability. Common errors. Be aware of common errors like uninitialized variables, type mismatches, and scope issues. Properly handling these can prevent bugs in your code. Example code. Let's look at an example that demonstrates variable declaration, initialization, and usage in a simple Java program. Summary. We covered the basics of Java variables, including declaration, initialization, data types, scope, naming conventions, and best practices. Understanding these concepts is fundamental to writing effective Java programs. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.